It's Friday night. We're downtown enjoying the ring of the season festivities. We're going to take in the big band concert, take a ride on the trolley, head over to the Folsom Tavern for their holiday celebration, and enjoy everything that's on the schedule. Come join us. We're back with Emma Bray from the American Independence Museum, and I understand you're a new resident.
I am, yes. My husband and I just purchased a home here in Exeter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. We're very excited.
No more commute?
No more commute, which is wonderful. I can walk to work, which is lovely. I haven't had that since I've lived in the city, so it's great to have that here. And we just love this town. I really only discovered it when I started working here at the Independence Museum. And we just fell in love with it, and we found a perfect home that's walking distance from here, walking distance to the train for my husband who works in Boston. But we just love the whole community feel here in the town, and I felt so welcomed here coming in as the new director. And we just knew we wanted to make this place home. And walking down the street last night during Festival of Trees with all the lights up and all the windows full of displays and people out, and I was running into people on the street that I knew from my work in the museum. But
so
it's
is this your first ring in the season experience?
It is,
okay.
Yes. I'm a newbie.
Okay,
this is
excellent.
the first time for me, so I really didn't know what to expect, and I grew up in a town that's very similar size to Exeter. We had nothing like this. We had a parade and that was it, but the decorate, everything is just so wonderful and such a great sense of community here, and that's what we loved and that's what brought us here. So it's nice that once we moved here, we're like, we made the right choice. This was the place that we really want to be and where we want to be forever. This is where we want to put down our roots. So thank you for making that possible. Thank you to the town of Exeter for being such an amazing place for us to.
It's very unique.
Yeah,
experience.
It is, and it's a wonderful, wonderful place. I know I've said that a bunch, but it just has all come together in all of the events for this season, at the holiday season. There's so much going on and so many great organizations and businesses that participate. We're thrilled to be among them, and I knew this year I really wanted us to be a more vibrant part of that. But there's so much to do that I'm constantly amazed that such a small town, but it's such a mighty town, can do so much.
It is mighty. That's a great way to describe Exeter.
Yes.
Lots of heart.
Yes,
and
lots
light.
of heart, lots of soul, and it's just been wonderful. So I'm looking forward to participating in some more Ring in the Season events and maybe catching a ride on the trolley, but yeah.
Welcome to the Folsom Tavern. I am Elizabeth Folsom, and I welcome you to our tavern tonight. We are here having a holiday celebration. The home is wonderfully decorated by a local flower shop. They came in here and decorated the house for us. Amongst the house you'll see musicians playing. There's a children's group. There is a gentleman playing a harpsichord. And of course the home. This was a lovely private home to start from Colonel Samuel Folsom and myself. We had 4 children in this home, and it was later opened as a public home, which was called the Tavern. Welcome to Exeter and the Folsom Tavern.
Our adversity was blessed Christmas morn, and the house above the coast guard was the house where I was born. Oh, where I saw the pleasant room, the pleasant faces there, my mother's silver spectacles and my father's silver hair. Ah, well, I saw the firelight like a flight of homely elves who dance around the china plates that stand upon the shelves. And well I knew the talk they had, the talk that was of me, of the shadow on that household, and the son that went to sea. And oh, the wicked fool I seemed in every kind of way, to be here and hauling frozen ropes on blessed Christmas.
Hey guys, what have you done this weekend? We've done the Festival of Trees. We've been on some, but we didn't get one this year. We've gotten one before. We did the trolley ride. We sang Christmas carols. What are you doing now? You're drawing with a what? Do you remember what it's called?
A feather.
A feather, a quill, and ink. Right? And then tomorrow, what? Do you know what we're going to see tomorrow? The Christmas parade. Yeah. I know, I didn't tell him that. Yeah, we're going to go down and see the parade. You're going to dance to it?
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Did you dance to the music downstairs at the tavern here?
I was leaving home, and my folks were growing old.
Thank you.
Isn't that a beautiful poem?
That's a great one.
Next stop was the Blue Note Big Band playing in the Town Hall, a yearly event for Ring in the Season. Upstairs in the town gallery, local artists and crafters held their annual holiday show. Downstairs, decorated Christmas trees were being auctioned off at the Festival of Trees to benefit the Chamber Children's Fund.
Outstanding teen. We're here at the Gingerbread House. We've been collecting funds for the Children's Chamber Fund to donate to their coat drive for the surrounding towns around Exeter. Yeah, so thanks to these donations, we'll be keeping lots of kids warm this winter. Thank you.
Over at the 8th Annual Gingerbread House Contest, edible candy decorated creations of all sorts were on display. And finally, the Exeter Holiday Parade, celebrating its 60th year of floating along the streets of Exeter. One of the floats was made by Northeast Lantern, who I met up with earlier to learn more about their small business located right here in Exeter.
We took a trip today out to 6 Commerce Way, part of the Exeter Industrial Park, to visit Northeast Lantern, a locally owned and operated business in town. The Heel family started the business in 1987. We're going to go inside, speak with the Heel family, and take a look around. So we're in the fabrication department behind the scenes here at Northeast Lantern. And show us around, Chris.
All we work with is brass and copper.
Okay.
And then different thicknesses
All right.
for where it goes on the fixture.
Okay.
So if it depends. If it's structural, we use a thicker metal. If it's not, we use a thinner metal.
Okay.
However, we still have some of the industry's thickest metal that we use on our fixtures.
Excellent.
So once it's cut out, we actually have a routing card. And on that routing card, it tells you how to make the piece.
Okay.
So you bend it, mold it, roll it, hammer it,
So
form it up.
what's step 1 in fabrication?
Shearing.
Can we go scoot over to shearing?
Step 1, sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we've got this large sheet of metal right now, and he's measuring out the certain size to spec. So what are we doing here, Dustin? Can you explain?
Right now, Northeast Lantern is kind of known for their onion lights. That's our trademark, it's our logo. As Skip likes to say, we built a better mousetrap.
Yes. I have 2 onion lights, and I love them.
They're really our signature product.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Anthony is punching out some holes, and after he's done punching the holes, he's going to put a bead in, and it'll start to look like the cone that we see on the onion light when it's a finished product.
While he was putting on the bead, it really started to take shape and look like their classic onion light.
So I'd like to know a little bit, when you started working here, I mean, obviously your dad started the business back in 1987.
Yep.
And I mean, you were here as a toddler?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I mean, I did all my science fair projects here.
That's excellent.
I mean, you get all the tools, you get all the equipment, why not?
So you didn't do any grocery store, ice cream scooping, burger flipping
This is my one and
jobs. This
only
was your job.
This is it.
And-
sometimes I look at that as a blessing, and sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, I've only worked for one guy, my dad.
Right.
So I've never really worked for another person, needless to say. But I treat everybody here, I believe I treat everybody here like family. I mean, I'm here more than I am at my house, so they're my family.
How many family
48.
members do you have? 48.
Yes.
Wow, is that sort of a peak amount?
That's a peak. I mean, once you get above 50 of different rules and regulations you have to adhere to.
Right.
So I would like to stay below that threshold.
Okay.
But if we keep growing, then we'll go to 50 plus.
And longevity of employees?
Oh boy, I think the longest one here has been 23 years.
Wow.
We have another one who's been 21, 22.
So a 30-year company, and they've been here 21,
Yes.
23 years.
Yep.
Next, we headed over to the fabrication department, where workers were assembling pieces.
So, Eric, you want to demonstrate how to solder up a bottom post?
Yeah.
Perfect. So
that's the final product. That's what
yes,
we're.
yep,
That's what we're going to. That's what we're going to make.
What he's going to come out of it. So right now he's going to take the solid bottom, and he's going to attach the post, and then from the post he's going to attach the yoke. So soldering is a mixture of heat, flux, and solder.
And what's that? Little glue kind of.
That is the flux. So that helps clean the metal.
Okay.
And it helps it so that the heat and the solder get into the two pieces that you're joining. So you see he puts the two pieces together, applies some flux, applies some heat, and then goes into the solder and removes both. And usually let it sit for about
I was going to ask about resting time.
5 to 6 seconds.
That's it.
Yep, not too long, and then it's strong enough. And perfect.
Ta-da.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Can I,
Might be a little hot.
is it hot? It would be hot to the touch.
Right there if you want to grab it.
Can I touch and see?
Grab it from the top of the post right there.
So you did 8 things of
8 little tacks. Yep.
little tacks. And now do you also put the rim on too? Is
Yep.
that?
Yep. This will go right on the top of that. Actually,
Yeah. Right into our standard product.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Nice. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Eric.
Hi, Jessica.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. So how long have you been an employee at Northeast Lantern?
About 2 years.
2 years. And where did you start? In what department or
I started over in wiring,
wiring?
all the finishing area.
And did you have a background in wiring
No,
or
I didn't.
So
No,
you
it's my first thing, first
saw,
time.
saw the job, thought you'd check it out,
Yeah.
came in and interviewed.
It was perfect. Yeah, I got hired right away.
Wonderful. So you've been here 2 years and you started in wiring and today you're in the soldering
Yeah,
department?
I moved over here about 2 months ago.
Yes. And what are you making today?
I'm making a 5733.
Which is?
It's a post light. It's about, I don't know, yay tall. I'm putting the tabs in right now.
Are there certain products that you like better working on or?
I actually like these ones the best.
Yeah, is there what about it? What
I
is
like
it
the
that
top. We have a jig over there that we put them in,
Okay.
and then it forms it together. Like this. Or, well, it's like that.
Yeah. And so the process of soldering this piece is just a bit more, is it trickier because of that angle?
There's a lot more pieces than there are in other, well, over there there's twice as much, but I started a step ahead, so now I can figure out exactly how they're made and, you know, I don't know, soldering's like, I see the after process of it over in wiring.
Do you know how many women work here? Do you have an rough
About
idea? 8?
Yeah.
So 20%.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're in a non-traditional job or
No? It's great. I love it here.
You love it. That's great to hear. Can we watch?
Yeah.
What you doing?
I was just doing my last tab right here.
One of the final steps takes place in the fluff and buff department. Here workers scrub the lanterns and place them in various chemical baths to give them their distinct finish.
This is the finished goods area.
Okay.
So all of these fixtures have been sold. As you can see, again, we don't mass produce anything. So there's one, there's 2, there's
Yep.
4. It's pretty cool. You can see a raw copper, you can see an antique brass, you can see our dark brass. So different chandeliers too. There's that 12 arm that Diane was talking about.
I just noticed
She
that.
just finished that. I really like that piece.
Stunning.
Nice and short, but it's nice and wide. So if you had 8-foot ceiling, you fit it right in. And a nice big fixture. So
Where do we go next?
from here, we take the finished goods and we go to shipping. And I'll just grab a quick sample here.
Small little onion.
So, from shipping, we actually have what we call a foam in place. So, obviously, we get a box that fits it. And it takes two chemicals. It takes an A and a B chemical. And once you mix those two, it does a pretty cool foam trip. So, different size bags, different features. It spits out the bag.
Are we
So you
putting
can
air in a
see-
bag?
Nope. If you
No?
touch it, it's a little warm because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
reacting. So what we do is we put it in the box, and you can see, then we put the fixture in.
Oh, is it going to foam around it?
Because we have so many fixtures and so many different shapes and
Yep.
sizes, this works best for us because it'll shape to the fixture.
That is cool.
Obviously, this is not complete, but it gives you the idea.
Right.
So if you watch, I take it out, and you can kind of see the fixture, the dent that it made. So fit it right in.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Skip Heel, Jamie Heel. How are you?
Good, Beth. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for letting us come to your home.
Hey, thanks for coming.
This
here
is
today.
really special. I do appreciate it.
It is kind of a home where sometimes, and I tell the employees this, that they're here more than they are at home, except for sleeping time.
Right.
But yeah,
It's nice to know that an employer thinks about that because it's critical.
I do. It's a big family, and the people that work here mention that every now and then, that this is a great place to work and treated like family, and they like it.
And did I hear there was a recent celebration? Was there
yes.
a 30-year party?
This 2017 is our 30th year in business.
Congratulations.
Back in the fall of '86, I was working for another company and wasn't happy with the direction they were going in, so I decided to break off on my own and go into the brass lantern business. So in 1987, we began Northeast Lantern. We started in Brentwood and rented space.
Okay.
And we were there for 5 years. It was 3,000 square feet. And it was a struggle the first 3 or 4 years, and then it just started ticking.
Just normal business startup struggle?
Yeah. You know, decide what you're going to do,
Right.
and try to find customers, make the stuff, try to be different than the other people in the same line of work, to give you something to stand out.
Was it hard to get into shops with your product? Was that a
Yes.
barrier?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, because we wholesale to lighting showrooms, mostly throughout the Northeast, hence the name Northeast Lantern, and that's been our bread and butter, and that's what we've stuck to over the years, and we still sell the majority of our wares to lighting showrooms. And to get wall space
Right.
in these showrooms is tough. You have to break down the fences sometimes to put a few things up, but once they get it up on the wall and people can see it, feel it, and touch it, they buy it.
So just like Chris, were you here working?
Yes.
Summers,
Oh, yeah.
teenage years, college years?
I started in the wiring department.
Okay.
Wiring light fixtures and putting them together, and gosh, I think I started when I was 13 years old.
Just what every 13-year-old girl wants to do, right?
Exactly.
Come wire a lantern.
Yes. Yep. And I probably didn't get paid because I was so young, but I got to work with my dad and my brother, and it was great. It was fun, and I learned a lot, and here I am.
So let's just talk about some personal things, because I know a little bit more about your dad than you, but you've been involved in Kensington's volunteer fire department?
My father was the fire chief in Hampton Falls when we were growing up in the 60s and early 70s. And so I became a fireman when I became of age. And then after I got married to Cindy and moved to Kensington, I built a house there in 1980. I became on the fire department there. And then Chris got into Boy Scouts, so we were active in Boy Scouts. And
that whole family thing.
And we just got involved in community affairs, and then when we moved to Exeter as a business, I got involved in the community here as well.
And have I heard that your son's now a fireman as well?
Yeah, just this year, they own a house in Stratham, and so he decided to join the ranks and become a firefighter in Stratham. He's got to start firefighter 1 first, yeah. But he's coming in, and I'm getting ready to probably phase out.
Well, thank you for your service. What would we do without our volunteer firemen? And a lot of the towns in this area rely on volunteer fighter services, so thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just a couple other highlights. Business of the Year. I know you won the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year a few years back.
2011.
And then that also made you eligible for the New Hampshire Business of the Year, which you won, correct?
Yes, in the manufacturing category in 2012.
That must have been quite an honor.
It was spectacular.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. And I'm at the Heels through the holiday lights, believe it or not. Because
right.
The garlands in downtown Exeter, the lantern in the middle of the road are lanterns that were made by Northeast Lantern. So one year when I was on the committee, for some reason I got charged with reaching out to Northeast Lantern because one of the lanterns had been dinged. Must have been hit by a truck on Water Street. And that's how I became familiar with the family and your products. Mm-hmm. And now we've roped them into the Christmas parade for several years now. And
yes.
the skills that they have here translate really nicely into some very innovative and unique floats. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait to see this year's. Hint, hint.
Oh, great. Another one.
No pressure.
They're a lot of work. Floats are a lot of work, and when you do it to the extent and magnitude that your organization has done, I understand the amount of time. So thank you. Thank you for all your contributions to the town. It is fun. Yeah. I trust that I can tell by the looks on your face that all of this is fun.
Yeah.
Even owning your own business, working with your dad and your brother.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some great stories to be shared
at
some other time.
Oh yeah.
And back at the holiday parade, our friends at Northeast Lantern were about to win an award.
Here comes another award winner, Darius. This is Northeast Lantern. Northeast Lantern handcrafts solid brass and copper lanterns right here in Exeter. Well wishes for the holiday season.
So you know what? Hey, I love trains because I work for Amtrak, but man, y'all, this is a nice train. Are you the engineer? No, you're the engineer. You're driving, right? Okay, you're the engineer. Who's the conductor? Where's Thomas? We want to say, hey, congratulations, Northeast Lantern. You guys have the Best Business Award. Awesome job. Wait for it. Guess who's here? Guess who's here? It's my cousin, Santa! This is the one we all about right here, baby. Santa,
the 60th annual Exeter Holiday Parade, proudly welcomes Santa Claus!
Santa Claus, yes! What's that now, JJ?
Tails Automotive.
Merry Christmas! All right, thank you.
It's Santa Claus!
Santa Claus! JJ! Santa, I've been very good. I know I'm not you, but I wore roller skates this year. Would you like to say something to the crowd?
Oh, 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 Merry Christmas! Oh, oh, oh!
Thank you, Santa. Here we have the Elfmobiles.
I was planning to drive up to the bandstand in my golf cart to show off the Franny Wentworth wreath, but I was really surprised when Darius and the parade committee presented me with the committee award for 2017.
I just want to say I have something very special for you. Stay right there. Beth? No, I'm not going to propose to you. I got my roller skates on. All right. But for 17 years, we've been doing this thing together. I've watched you over 17 years do a bunch of other things for this town. You are a dedicated volunteer that puts the spirit of Christmas in this town. I love what you bring to this town. You bring the spirit of Franny. You've carried it forward. We do this. We volunteer. We volunteer because we love to volunteer. From my heart to you, I just want to acknowledge that and say thank you. Everybody, you guys know what Beth does to this town. So, hold on. The Santa, you got the Santa pants on, and for this special occasion, I wore my long coat.
I love the
Yes,
coat.
I love my, and this is for you, a token of my appreciation. If I can get it open.
Is it a golf cart?
No, it's not a golf cart. But it says from the Exeter Holiday, Beth Dupell, thank you for helping ring in the season. Your volunteering makes Exeter a special place. Our sincere appreciation to the Exeter Holiday Parade Committee. But wait a minute, it wouldn't be complete if I didn't have a photo shot with all the elves. So come on, guys. Where's Buddy? Buddy, the big elf. No, I'm Blanta, baby. I'm Blanta.
To all of our parade participants, our volunteers, Exeter Public Works, Exeter Police, Phillips Exeter Campus Security, all of our sponsors, everyone who made it all happen, thank you for joining us for the 60th Annual Exeter Holiday Parade.
Thank you, everybody, for turning out. Now, join us in 15 minutes for the bonfire at Swayze Parkway. Be safe, be careful, and be kind.
There is no better way to end a busy day than outside enjoying the warmth and peacefulness of a bonfire. Swayze Parkway is the venue we use to come together to reminisce, celebrate, and embrace the spirit of the community. I enjoyed the quiet moments as much as the time spent conversing with the young and not so young as they shared their ring in the season adventures. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.